So what time are you telling me you actually get up, Andy? 2:30. What the hell? What? 2:30? We don't even have to be here in studio till 6. So for me, it's any time after 4:30 is just fine. I'm up and going. If it's 4:10, 4:20, of course, I'm up. But 4:30, time to get some bite to eat, get on the road. It's dark now in the winter. It's snowy this morning. Drive careful, everybody. Today, Monday, it is Monday the 5th. Remember, Andy, Andy says before any further, remember everyone down here below is the like and subscribe buttons. Hit them both. All right. Good, Andy? Good. Like and subscribe. Andy, I said this before, but during the holidays and whatnot, and even since the lockdown and that, I've noticed things are different around the family. When I was a kid, Mom was, we're baking pies and we're making dinner for everyone. And, well, company's coming. Everybody get your good clothes on. And we got the apple pies baking, Grandma. And then company comes and everybody's, company's here. Da-di-da-di-da. Everybody's happy. We got company. But now, I've noticed it's not like that. No more pie baking, first of all, not around any houses that I've been around. It's usually picking up pie. If there's pie at all. Andy, is there pie? No pie, all right? Now, everybody's like on edge. They're hyper vigilant, They're like, now, if anybody knocks on the door, heaven forbid, it's like knock, knock. Oh my God, the children, go upstairs and hide under the bed. Grandma, get the assault rifle. Honey, there's a 9mm under the kitchen table. I got the bazooka. Paranoid, looking out the windows like you're all a cokehead from the 80s. Peeking out there. Who is it? It's neighbors. They want to give us a Christmas gift. Yeah, right. It's probably booby trap. Don't take it. And I know I'm exaggerating. No, I'm not exaggerating at all. That's the way it is now. We're not baking pies with Grandma. Grandma's got her assault rifle. Before we answer the door. Andy, before showtime, we had a debate about democracy and republics and what have you, not have you. And I disagreed with everybody here. Everybody, we're a democracy. We're the Democratic Republic. Did I hear that thrown around? We're neither. We're nationalists. We're nationalism is taken over. That's the way that we are. Let me explain. Nationalism, Andy, and everybody else is defined as it's a devotional loyalty to the particular nation, state, all or the symbols of that state. It's a belief that the nation itself will benefit from acting individually and independently rather than in an alliance. So it's the Soviet bloc alliance, and then we have NATO, and there's alliances in the world. But if you're a nationalist, if I remember right, just a few years ago, we didn't need to be in NATO, and there's a lot of people that don't think we should be in NATO. Hence, nationalism. The belief that a certain group, a certain class, or political governing body is generally the same. Look at the United States. We have, generally speaking, almost all the time we have men that lead. They're older and they're white. Obama's an exception, I know, but that's what the rule is. All eyes and symbols of nationalism are upon their unified goal. Okay? It no longer is a democracy. It no longer is a republic. Now we're nationalists. Flags and symbols was mentioned, and flags and symbols. You look around the world, and the country flags, the country symbols are not displayed everywhere. In America, they're everywhere. And I mean everywhere. You buy flags at Walmart, okay, and people do. They put them up. Every day is Flag Day. People all around the world are wondering, what the heck, are these government buildings? No, it's my house. What, is your house a fortress? Well, it can be, okay. So other places around the world don't see that. Countries that do see that, flags everywhere, was nationalist, socialist Germany in the 30s and 40s. North Korea now, the United States now. That's about it. There's some other South American countries, but no country. You're not going to go to Great Britain or Ireland or Spain or Italy or Germany and drive around and everybody's got a German flag, or, of course they wouldn't have a German flag in France, but in France, they don't have flags hanging all of their houses. That's a sign of nationalism. Is that a good thing? I don't know. The definition isn't good. All eyes are on the state. All believe that the nation will benefit by itself. America no longer can sustain. It no longer can sustain its number one. It's not number one. Okay, we lock up people more, but it's not number one. And other things that we need to stand alone. Certain groups. I mean, it sure looks like it's a nationalist. Do we go through the motions and elect our leaders? Yeah, but the election's always older men. I mean, 80, 75, 80-year-old elderly men are candidates. Before I go any further, what I want to do is clarify a little bit up with the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, because it has to do with what I'm seeing around the country next. The Constitution and the Bill of Rights, okay, quote, I got this from everywhere, just the United States federal Constitution does not make a reference to God or any God as such, although it uses the format in the year of our Lord on Article 7, Section 3, where there's a date. Now, the argument for that is that's how they dated all their documents. That's how they did it. That doesn't mean it's a Christian or that the whole document is any God. First of all, the First Amendment of the Bill of Rights is why there is no mention of God in our Constitution or Bill of Rights. That is freedom of religion. So that's not, they're not going to write a bunch of religious stuff, and they didn't. You know, well, there's God in trouble we trust, Pipewrench. There's God in God we trust everywhere. It's like, yeah, you're right. It began as a political motto during the Civil War that the Union used to shame the Confederacy because, of course, the Union was, in God we trust. So again, nowhere in the Bill of Rights or the Constitution does it say anything about God. Okay? So states are different. Now, my sources, Andy, are correct that you handed me here is that the states, like various states, like Montana, Michigan, California, there's over 200 mentions of God and religion. But in our federal constitution, it's not. So that brings on the next. If I believe we have nationalism as a government, kind of a slant on a republic democracy, but it is an allegiance, it is, one all, see all, then the next logical step that we are seeing as a nation is called Christian nationalism. Now, remember what I just said about the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, that there is no mention of God, and basically it is up to the states, like 2 or 3, but the United States federal, Andy, I love it, I'll get to it. So, with Christian nationalism, Andy, and everyone, what the primary focus there is there is a internal political pressure and there's political passing of laws that reflect a Christian state. Okay? The gay laws, the transgender laws, abortion laws are all kind of deeply rooted certain places. Okay? One of those is the Christian right, who also happens to be the Christian nationalists. Now, are all the people that are Christian right Christian nationalists? No, of course not. Absolutely not. It would be absurd to even think so. Are there some? Excuse me. Yeah. Yeah, there's some. In fact, that's what they're primary. But it's the far. It's the far. But it's people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, our friend Abbott in Texas. Those are people that, they believe that Christianity has a primary role in both our political and social life, which the Bill of Rights does not agree with that, but that's what Christian nationalism, they believe that there should be no separation of church and state, that they should have an influence in everything from schools and education to politics and laws. Look at Texas, for instance, with Abbott in control. That's kind of what you got. Remember, the Constitution says we have the freedom of religion. But Christian nationalists would like you to believe that you don't have the freedom from religion. So, I know it says kind of confusing, but let me give you an example of Christian nationalism. You can see it on Facebook. Local elections, state elections, national elections. Oh, that political opponent won because God wanted him to win. Or her to win. Are you serious? The God, which God? Andy? I know we're going to get to it. How many religions, Andy? I'm going to ask you a couple times. 2,885 recognized religion on the earth practicing right now as of Monday, December 5th, 2022. Damn, that's all this. I always thought it was 20. Okay, so that God, whoever, decided that he was going to get involved in the local election or the national election. Our president, our congressman, our representative, our what other positions are there that are elected officials? You know, sheriffs like Mayberry, sheriffs and things. They're all in power because God wanted them to be in there. That's Christian nationalism. I don't think that God is getting involved in local elections. I don't think so. You know, I don't know what religion you belong to that says that God is getting along and getting involved in the local elections and the school boards and stuff. Holy mackerel. I'm a recovering Catholic, Irish Catholic to boot. And I feel guilty about that. But nowhere in my upbringing with the Virgin Mary and Jesus and everyone, they weren't getting involved in elections. Hell, they weren't even getting involved in interfering with priests and altar boys. So they certainly aren't getting involved in elections. Okay? I find that preposterous, you know, and the people are like, well, you know, Christian gods and Jesus, he gets it, you know. Andy, again, how many? 2,885 religions practicing, and that's not just minor religions, right? That's everything. It's Muslims, Buddhists, Hindus. You know, that's some of the big heavy hitters are out there, the big ones. Okay? Catholics, Christians. Okay? Look, we've all seen pictures of God. We've seen God, we've seen Jesus, we've all seen pictures of him. Heck, Andy. I met God, Jesus, whatever, in a Led Zeppelin concert. It was August 26, 1971. We went all down to Houston, standing next to Jesus. Had a long hair, beard, sandals going, blowing some good Afghani hash. Told me who he was. I was flipped, Andy. I was flipped out. Wasn't the mescaline either. I was flipped. I'm like, dude, don't smite Robert Plant. Because, you know, he smites stuff. He does. Yeah. He flipped out, told me to chill, gave me some Afghani, called me his son. I still wasn't convinced, Andy. No. Why? First of all, of the, how many? 2,885 religions in the world, they all say they're the one. Buddha, Muhammad, Jesus, they're all like, hey, we're the only game in town. Not so fast. Christianity, though, they're like, yeah, it's loving and kind, Andy. It's loving and kind. Christians are loving, kind. I know. God, the guy I was smoking joints with, his dad unleashed the flood, killed every motherfucker on the face of the planet. Kind? No, that ain't kind. No. That's not kind. That's not cool at all. I met the guy that I met was kind of cool, but that's not cool. No. What'd he do? Killed all the firstborn sons in Egypt during Passover. That is definitely not cool. I'm sorry. That is not cool. And for he's really mad. Really mad. He's like mad, and he's like, that loving God was just pissed off. Yeah, this is the one everybody follows. He's like, yeah, I'm going to burn down a couple cities. What? Yeah. A couple cities and then a four encore. I'm going to turn this poor woman into a salt pillar. So Christian nationalism in the United States bases their belief on that God and his son that was at the Led Zeppelin concert in Houston in 71. True story, Andy. It is a true story. You know, I talked about this earlier this morning, and I got to do this again. Last 10 days, yeah, I had Led Zeppelin concert. I'm serious. Long hair, sandals, have the best Afghani. I said, Jesus, man. He's like, yes, my son. I'm like, whoa, dude. Yeah, like your dad, flood everybody. Burn cities down. What's that firstborn in Egypt crap? That's just the tip of the iceberg. I talked it earlier, the last 10 days, Andy, we got Trump and Biden have both hinted, told, said, fabricated to, made allusions to the things that they're going to both run for president. Okay? I mentioned this earlier. They're going to both run. Trump's like 78 now. He'll be 80 in the election year. Biden's 80 now. He'll be 82. I'm like, what in the hell? What possesses America to keep electing old guys, old white dudes, as old as we can find? We can't find any. Elderly. We have elderly. We're going into the group homes and old folks' homes finding candidates. 80 and 82, that's not old enough. Well, fuck, let's go and find a 90-year-old guy. Where's George Burns when you need him? He's 100 and what? Andy, 182? Jesus. No, I'm sorry. The guy at the, Yeah, chill, my son. Why? I'm watching Biden. Now, Andy, in another life and time, I worked in services. I worked in human services. I worked with the elderly. I worked with, people that were in Alzheimer's wings, and I worked in group homes with. What I'm seeing with Joe Biden is just the borderlines on elder abuse. I'm sorry, man, but geez. They got them propped up. I'm sorry, but they do. If it's almost like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. It's an old pod or something. I don't know why I made that parallel. You're up there shaking what? The Invasion of the Body Snatchers? I'm sorry, man. It's just, God, I mentioned it twice today. It's like, why? Why do we keep? Because we're turning into a Christian nationalist. No, that's a phase. Is it, Andy? You think it's a phase? You think it'll go away? You think it goes away? Yeah, good luck with that. Don't forget, everybody, today after tomorrow, not today, but day after tomorrow, tomorrow's Tuesday, so Wednesday is December 7th. Now, for those of you that do not know, on Sunday, December 7th, in 1941, the Japanese did a sneak attack on Pearl Harbor, dragging the United States into World War II. A day that will live in infamy. My dad was a World War II vet. My mom was a Rosie Riveter in the factories of Detroit. I've always mentioned that. So, hats off to Mom and Dad, all the other World War II veterans. Please take a moment to remember those of the greatest generation. And he's doing the worried sign, so we must be like doing the close to wherever I'm not supposed to be. So remember, Putin is still being a dick. He's still threatening people. He's still being Putin-like. So, everybody, remember, keep doing your duck and cover drills because you never know, okay? And remember those in New York, all right, go inside, go into a closet, and stay there. Everybody else, learn to duck and cover. Andy, you're doing this. All right, everybody. It looks like we are out of here. So, before I go, remember, everybody, kiss your dogs. All right? Spay and neuter. Adopt. Don't shop. Rescue, empty the shelters, help out during the holiday seasons. The shelters are filling up. Until next Monday, stay warm, drive safe. See you next week, everybody.